Here's a quick video on how to hold a bow correctly. So here is the bow. This end here is called the frog, and your thumb is going to go right in there in the tip. Not all the way through, it's just on the inside of that bit. And your thumb should always be curved, not straight, with a bend. So that goes right inside. And your pinky perches on top, the tip of your pinky, so that cushiony bit will be on the top. And I have my index finger kind of curved and at a slant. These two fingers here don't do too much. In fact, you should be able to lift up your bow, hold your bow with your thumb and your pinky to test whether or not your pinky is being supportive. Yeah, that's an example. You should be able to do this, and that can give you a sense of whether or not your pinky is doing its job and your thumb is doing its job. The index is important for volume. So if you press down with your index finger, you'll get louder. And your pinky can be important in terms of loosening up. If you need to get lighter, sometimes your pinky will play a role. Just in the action of pushing down, your bow lifts up, and that can help with the pressure of your bow on the string, lessen the pressure so it becomes a smaller sound. And the thumb is bent, so you can have this kind of grippy motion. That's important in terms of bending your wrist also. Throughout playing, as you get farther from your bow, your wrist will have an upturn. That's far away. There's an upturn, and as you get closer, your wrist will bend like this. So throughout playing, you get kind of a floppy effect. This is away, and this is towards your violin again, coming back. And yes, that's why it's important to bend your thumb so you can have that range of motion, which you will figure out for yourself as you play more exactly when you need to use it. But yeah, it is important. Bend your thumb. In terms of taking care of your bow, always loosen your bow after playing, which obviously means that you tighten your bow before you play. Your bow should have, now here's my finger for reference, about that much. So it's not quite half of my top digit. And of course, if you have smaller hands, this isn't even helpful. I use a pencil. If you can fit your pencil through there, this is a fat pen. If you can fit your pencil through there without disturbing the hairline too much, then I think you're at a good height. But if it's way too easy, if there's too much space in between, that means it's too tight. You should never have I'll show you what way too tight is. Hopefully I won't damage anything here, but see how it's almost like parallel? And some people can tighten their bow even more so it looks like this. That's not good. You want to loosen that up. You won't even get good playing for that. I don't know of any reason why bows get that tight actually. So this is better. You have more bounce when it's a bit looser. As for caring for your bow, don't touch the bow hair. Your fingers carry oils. even if you just washed your hands. And over time, your bow won't make sound because it's too oily. For correct bowing, make sure your bow is always in a straight path. A curved path will be a wispy, ugly sound. You won't get clarity. So it's really easy to create curve in your bowing path, unfortunately. But there's a trick, and it's funny because it doesn't make any sense. If you imagine curving your bow hand, your bow path, if you put your hand slightly in front of you, your bow will be straight. So you imagine a J shape. Imagine the J, and it'll keep your bow path straight, perpendicular to your violin. You can also think about putting it slightly in front of you. Don't do it too much though, because then obviously you'll curve your bow again in the opposite direction. So if you over push it in front of you, your bow path will be curved. And if you don't do it enough and carry on to the side, directly down your shoulder length, that also will create a curved bow. So you need to find that sweet spot of that soft J curve when you're fully extending your arm. When your hand is closer to your face in bowing, you don't need to do that J shape. You can actually fairly simply see that very straight line. You only need to worry about curving the J shape when your arm is stretched all the way out. So remember, bow straight, or you'll have to get one of these scary looking guardrails. Yikes. Okay, thanks for listening. Refer to this video anytime you need a review on how to care for your bow or how to bow correctly.